Bonjour and hello everyone. This is Shahir Sheikh. We are back with another episode of LARVOL CLIN Building in Public. Bruno Larval, the usual host, is actually attending EHA 2025, so he would not be able to host this one. I'll try to fill in for his shoes. And with me is, of course, a very familiar face, Daniel Armijo, who also recently attended. He still looks like he's still resting a little
I'm
bit.
still recovering.
Yeah, recovering from the ASCO trip. I'm going to ask you in this one later about how was that. But there's a lot of things that Daniel Armijo is working on for the Larval team, and he has a lot of, you know, it depends how much you want to share, but he has surely a lot of information about the latest features that have been released on Larval Clin, which is the platform that this episode is about. And there are some other things as well that he's been quietly doing on the side. I mean, he just does his magic in a couple of days, and all of a sudden, everybody's talking about it at huge conferences. Maybe we want to talk about it as well. Um, Daniel, over to you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Doing great. It's very exciting. There's a lot of things moving on. My team is working on many things concurrently, and I'm excited to show you guys basically two things we want to go over today. One is a quick overview of one new feature we launched this week on Clin, and then two is something that we like to show always at conferences. And I think since EHA is there, it's a good time to show people how they can use Clin to kind of gather market intelligence for what's happening at conferences using our platform and our tools to kind of get one comprehensive view of everything that's going on and everything that's being said at each of these conferences. So
That's certainly going to be a great show, Daniel. I'll let you. We actually forgot that in between, but I'll let you introduce. Pitch in something. Tell us about everything that you do at Larval, and meanwhile, I'll be loading the screen, and you can jump on the other news that you just talked about.
Sure. So basically, if you don't know Clin, one, go visit it. The words I can say to describe it are not enough to describe it. And then two, Clin is basically a Wikipedia for cancer, right? It has all of the information for every single clinical trial, treatment, drug, company, digital opinion leader. We digitize most of the Kaplan-Meier plots out there that we find, and we allow you to do cross comparisons. So you can do network meta-analysis, you can do pooled analysis, you can run many different sorts of time-consuming before analysis using our tools. We actually met a couple people at ASCO that used to, back in the day, sit down with the publication of the Kaplan-Meier plot and with a ruler kind of extract all of the curves so that they could do the pooled analysis of two different trials. And when we showed them the platform on the floor and we just said, hey, Dr. So-and-so, you can do that on the fly and you don't have to sit down on PowerPoint with your tea for 2 hours to do each of the graphs. They were very happy to see that. I actually got to know one of the people who was pioneering the kind of pooled analysis curve extraction methods. So very exciting to see them using our platform right now and then working together with them to actually make it better. So the first feature I want to go through is something called feed, right? And feed is just a feed of information where we can post.
I think that's the feed itself. It seems like a very interesting thing, but I think we might have some time for you to pitch in a little bit about ASCO. Tell us about how ASCO was and what was would you like to tell us some interesting things that you, and even the experience that you had with the application that you were building on the side as well?
Oh, yeah. Well, I built a little snack tracker, which was great. We got a couple of thousand users on the floor, and we got to try some really good snacks and some really bad coffee. Yeah. You know who you are. It looked very pretentious. It was not great. I have very strong opinions about it. It was not
whoever
great.
that was serving the coffee, please don't mind. Daniel has a very delicate taste about coffee because
it was
he's an
not
expert
just
on that.
me. It was not just me. The data proves it, right? It was bad. It was bad.
Okay, we trust that.
Anyway,
We'll jump to the feed. We'll jump to the feed.
let's
The
jump to the
important
feed.
thing. Yeah.
So on the feed, we're constantly pushing out different types of analysis that we're doing, right? So as you can see, all of it is right now EHA related because EHA is going on, and it's a new feature. So we've decided that the first couple posts we're going to post on the feed are all EHA related. You can see the top biomarkers, the top diagnostics from the abstracts. So all information that our team has extracted in near real time about all the abstracts that are being presented at EHA. And we kind of do these quick analysis for you so you could get a quick glance of what the top biomarkers are, what the top diagnostics are, where you can get a general idea of what the top DOLs are saying. We're also here probably going to post all about approvals, all about different trials that kind of passing and are going from stage 2 to stage 3. As you can see, there's an FDA approval for Iptrozi in there. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that drug, but there's a couple comments from some DOLs on there. And it's basically your quick little one-stop shop to get snippets of information that might be important to you, and also the latest news in oncology approvals, as well as oncology guidelines, as well as oncology conferences. You can kind of get a glance of what's going on with oncology this week if you visit our feed.
We're seeing 5 images right now. Can we zoom them in, or can we click on them and they get bigger? Is that something?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. You can click on anything and you can see it. Like, for instance, here's the top biomarkers from EHA 2025 abstracts. HER2, of course, dominating. It's quick analysis that our team will do, and you will usually post them on social media as well, but we thought might as well put them on the feed so that people have a one-stop shop, and just as soon as they open CLIN, they get a complete picture of what happened basically this week in oncology. And if they scroll down this entire time, or can't go back in time in oncology.
This is very cool. This is very precise. So we're basically providing a window with all the information in the name of feed, which is very nice. Correct. Daniel, we're already halfway to the episode, and you might have some other things. So I'll let you wrap.
I can double time it. So say you are somebody that's in marketing or somebody that's in competitive intelligence, and you're attending EHA, or you maybe couldn't attend, but you need to present or understand the sort of buzz that's going on at this conference, right? If you go to the conferences tab on CLIN and then you click on EHA, we will have every single abstract that's being presented at EHA, as well as all the reactions in near real time. So close to around 7 to 9 p.m. local time of the conference, this will be updated to the latest commentary. And what you're seeing right now is a graph of all of the sentiment analysis for people's opinions on X. And when I say people, I mean a panel of around 5,000 oncologists that we verified are oncologists, that we track their Twitter accounts and track all of their commentary. So if they post anything about any of the abstracts that are being presented, any of the trials, any drug, any company, we will link it to that drug trial company. And then we will rate that comment as negative, not rated, mixed, positive, practice informing, or practice changing, which is kind of like the highest rating.
So we have very precise information on that.
Correct. Not only very precise, but it's also very good to get a general glimpse of, because in some cases, say, overall survival for an abstract that presented was really good, but toxicity wasn't. Right. So in those cases, you'll get kind of mixed results, right? You'll get some oncologists that are saying, hey, this overall survival is great, but right, there's too much diarrhea. But
if we
the
click on
are
these
too high.
sentiments, we see the details from the oncologist as well, right? From
Correct.
the DOL.
So if we click on either of the different tabs, you're going to get to the specific tweet that is cataloged as whatever that is. So this doctor did what we doing the practice changing comment on a specific phase 3 trial for CLL. Not only that, but we also have different types of analysis, right? Because you're just seeing this by top trials, but maybe you want to see it by influencer posts, right? You want to see who's saying what and what their general commentary is, or you want to see it by company, right? You want to understand who's getting a lot more buzz on social media than other companies based on all the data that they're presenting. You can also do that with CLIN. I'm going to continue further to kind of some more interesting CI-related general stuff. If during the conference you want to get a glimpse of what the top drugs are being mentioned, what the top drugs by number of abstracts published are being mentioned, you can see this graph, and you can also compare it with previous years. So instead of having to go back to last year's EHA on our conferences tab and then doing a side-by-side comparison of how that did versus this year, you can actually just turn this on and you'll get the last 3 years. So the current year and the last 2 years of data. So you can get a feel of how the landscape for different drugs are changing, how research is advancing more in one area versus another. We also have this type of graph for MOAs. We also have this type of graph for diseases.
Sure.
So if you're somebody that's in market intelligence and is trying to identify kind of what areas to explore or what new tumor types to explore, or what new MOAs to explore, if you're looking to develop a new compound, this is kind of the place to be to get generalized market intelligence for each of the conferences and understand what the buzz is going. And if you're somebody that's working with a specific pharmaceutical company, with a specific drug or cancer area, you can also monitor the trials on that specific cancer area on here and just get a glimpse of everything that's going on for that specific buzz on that specific trial. Furthermore, if we go to like trial view, right? Let's go to trial view for some of ASCO's biggest trials, right? So let's go, this is ASCO 25. Let's go Atomic, right? Atomic. I forget which one it is. We're gonna have to go back and check.
It's Atomic.
Straight Sleeve colon. Okay.
Yep.
Ooh, that's not it. This is also not it, but this will give us a general impression of what we're doing. So on the trials tab, we'll have all of the information ever from the place it first started. Let's look at a more complete trial. Let's not look at Atomic. Let's look at Keynote 564. Right? So the first time this was presented was at ESMO 2017 as a poster. And then every single press release, every single PR article, every single poster, plenary, late-breaking plenary, anything that was published ever in relation to the specific trial, we will capture. And if anybody posted any images on X, we will capture those as well and then redraw the curves. Right? So all of these curves that you're seeing right here for these Kaplan-Meier curves, they're actually redrawn and digitized by our team. And we allow you to do the pooled analysis and the network meta-analysis with them. So if you go over here to KM plot, right, you can see each and every single one of the curves completely digitized. Right, and in each of the little specific categories, you can build your own curve if you want to and compare one trial to another with the Kaplan-Meier plot tab. And if you want to get the same sentiment analysis that we were seeing for conferences, but on a trial level, if you're working with a specific trial that you need to push for market, you can go to the Twitter reactions page and get a super up-to-date dashboard of what the general sentiment is behind that trial. We have a dial here telling you what the rating is. We have a number of posts and kind of their grouping. We have who's posting and saying what. We've got reactions over time if you want to compare how one press release it versus another. Your top mentions, your key reactions, and then under that is basically a trial-specific Twitter feed for every single comment that our panel of 5,000 oncologists has said about your trial with its rating and the amount of views it's had. So in a sense, it's a one-stop shop.
Exactly. I was about to say that.
Yeah, it's your one-stop shop for anything CI and anything oncology data. It's one platform where you can really do anything and everything.
You can actually find all the data that you need. Thank you very much, Daniel. You covered plenty of things in these 15 minutes. I really appreciate you participating and giving us all the information and doing all the good work that you've been doing with LARVOL. for everybody's information, of course, Bruno Larval and Kimo Lunis from our team are at EHA 2025. Please make sure that you say hi to them if you are also joining. Um, Also, please don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment if there's any questions. We love comments, and we would certainly be answering them. Thank you very much, Daniel. I'll hand it over to you, and we will say goodbye from here.
Well, it was great to have everyone here, and I hope that you go to our platform, use it, and then give us feedback. We're always open to that. So I think it's time to wish everybody a good day or afternoon or whatever time it is.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Thank you, everybody who participated, who tuned in. Thank you.